Hi, everybody. Daily Distinction time. Really glad that you're here, and I am so sorry about the last-minute cancellation yesterday. I know a lot of you folks are kind enough to think about Daily Distinction every day, hence the daily in distinction. And sorry that I messed up yesterday. So back in the saddle, you bet, Brian. Great to be here. So have you ever been in something and you just know you're not going to get out in time? The meeting that we had, by the way, Tammy is great. Everybody's great. Health is great. And that was part of what we were checking on yesterday, trying to make sure that everybody is good. So, but have you ever been in one of those where you just know this isn't going to end when you think it's going to end, and you know it's not going to end? And Tam and I were like looking at each other, and it's like, okay, do you go back to the car and get the iPad out, or do the show from your phone? And you know how it goes, because the typical thing is, as soon as you do that, then that's when you get called. So anyway, thanks for understanding, and I'm glad that you are here. Hey, Scott, how are you doing? By the way, want to check on you. You kind of surprised me the other day with what you were saying, so I hope everything is good with you. Curtis, always great to see you, my friend. Thank you for being here. Dwayne, yeah, I need to buy the house around because I missed out yesterday. You bet. So thanks again, Brian. I appreciate it. Ellen, yes, we're going to talk about investment today, and not as we traditionally think about an investment. That's the question. Investing is something we tend to think of in terms of financial, but it's a lot more than that. And that's what we're going to be talking about today, and giving you some ideas of some really, I think, positive and good investments that you can make. Hey, before we get started with that, though, just want to mention that the Ultimate Business Summit kicks off a week from today. You only have 1 week to get in here. Join us. Good grief. It's talking about great investments. The Ultimate Business Summit, $197, VIP ticket $497, but with the coupon code Scott, you get $100 off. So go to ultimatebusinesssummit.com, because with the coupon, it's less than $100 to attend this incredible event. We've got great things going on at the Ultimate Business Summit. And Darcy, you're going to be there, I know. We got some great folks that, excuse me, that have signed up. So it's really, really exciting. It's there's a week. And if you sign up for a VIP ticket, we're having a pre-event get together on Wednesday evening. So it's less than a week if you're a VIP for the Ultimate Business Summit. So jump in there now. Need you to do it. It'd be great. Also, if you have anything to do with moving from face-to-face to virtual, maybe you're a meeting professional, maybe you're a financial advisor, maybe you're a sales professional, anybody that has had to move from the face-to-face that we've been very used to working with people virtually, you need to join us with Post-Pandemic Events. It is now open for registration, and it has only about a week to go before we close the doors. Doors close on registration next Friday. So you need to sign up now if you're going to join us for Post-Pandemic Events, the course that takes everything about what's going on with virtual events and virtual sales calls and teaches you how to do that. We posted a thing earlier today, and it said, could you imagine if they would have taken radio and made television just like it? In other words, that everything on television would be just putting a camera in where they do a radio show. How boring would that be? And that's what we're trying to do with our sales calls, with our meetings, is that we're trying to do it the way we've always done it, yet do it to our computer rather than face-to-face. And it won't work. It won't work. It's like trying to get a satellite radio station on your FM radio. It won't work. So what you need to do is to learn what will work. And you're going to find that out at postpandemicevents.com. Postpandemicevents.com. By the way, the viewers of Daily Distinction, you get $50 off. Just enter Distinct 50 when you sign up. Distinct 50 when you sign up. and it's all there and it's all good. Oh, Darcy, did you sign up for it? Oh, thank you very much. Matter of fact, that's what I'm doing this afternoon too, is shooting a couple episodes. By the way, the course, if you sign up now, the course it's what's called the drip method. Hopefully it doesn't mean I'm the drip that's doing it. It means that it's not all released at once. And the reason that we're doing that, Darcy, is so that if people have questions, I can shoot a video and answer it. So when the course is completed, there'll be all that. And then we're going to do a couple special things to update it for those of you that have subscribed. And I really, really appreciate that. That is so good that you're. I'm thrilled that you're enjoying it so far, and we want to make it responsive to the questions that you have. So, Darcy and Brian, whoever, if there's a question that you've got, why, make sure that you submit it. I'll shoot a video on it, because if you got the question, other folks do too. So that's really great. Well, and great to see you. You like the coupon code there, Dwayne? Hopefully that's easy to remember. Hey, Jay, how are you? Oh, closing your business, COVID. And there's an important investment right there. We said we were talking about investments, and AJ just talks about an important one. Not what you said about closing the business due to COVID, but making the investment of a mental health month to decompress and regroup, right? And that is an important investment. And we'll talk more about that in just a minute. Where are you investing? And I'm not talking about your 401k. I'm not talking about, something that you do with finance. I'm not talking about something that you do with the stock market or your retirement savings or whatever. It was interesting. I looked up to see, where does the word invest come from? Right? I mean, every word has its origins. Where did the word invest start? So I looked it up, and the word invest goes back to about the 1500s, the mid 1500s. It meant to clothe with the insignia of a rank. And interestingly enough, it's kind of also where we get vest. All right? It's not just our options vest or our stock vests, or we've heard vest as it deals with financial. It also was part of a uniform, right? You would put on the vest that showed your insignia or your rank, and if you were in the vest, it meant that you were at a level of authority. Isn't that interesting? I never knew that until I looked that up today. So you were in the vest that showed you were endowed with authority. You were granted authority. So when you put on the vest, or you were in, once you went in vest, then it showed that you had accomplished something, achieved something, had a rank of something, had an authority somewhere. That's where the word comes from the mid 1500s. Now, if you look it up in the dictionary, it will talk about the financial aspects that you might imagine would be there with invest. But the dictionary also says that invest means to devote one's time, effort, or energy to a particular undertaking. And I thought this next part was really interesting. This is not me. This comes from the dictionary. With the expectation of a worthwhile result. And it kind of makes sense when you think about it. I mean, even in terms of financial matters, right? I wouldn't invest in something that I thought I was going to lose money in, right? We play the lottery. We don't invest in the lottery, right? Because we don't have the we have the hope. Oh, when we fantasize about what would it be like, if you hit. If you hit, Tammy and I were stopped yesterday, to a convenience store, and there was a Megabucks machine in there in Las Vegas, and we're filling up our tank with gas and getting a bottle of water, and we put $20 in the Megabucks machine, and the potential payoff was $16 million. Now, did we invest that $20 with the expectation we were going to get the 16 million? No, I mean, it'd be cool if it happened, right? But we played 20. It was $20 and we played it. We didn't invest it. Investing means you have the expectation that there's going to be some kind of worthwhile result. It also says something whose usefulness will repay the cost. So if you invest in, you name it, whatever, you have the expectation that the usefulness of what you put your money in is going to repay what you've put into it, right? It's if I, invest in an iPhone, my perception is the usefulness of this thing is going to be worth what I paid for it. The way it keeps me in touch with business associates, or it gets me in touch with friends. The way that I can read books on it. The way that I can, right? So I'm going to put that much money in it because I think I'm going to get money out of it. Scott's got a reminder for Anthony. It's your last week to sign up for UBS. Oh, that's cool. Thank you. See, there you go. You're investing in your staff right now. And part of the reason, Dwayne, you're doing that is because they're going to come out of this stronger and you expect a return. Right? You have the reasonable expectation that you're not only going to get your money back, you're going to, through their improved productivity, their improved sales, their improved everything, they're going to be doing more than what you put in. That's the reasonable expectation that you have. And that's a very reasonable expectation to make. So the point is, you don't just invest your money, you invest your time and you invest your talent. And so then the big question becomes for all of us, are the investments with your time and talent creating the worthwhile result that you desire? If you watch, as many of you do all the time, part of how I start every day is I get up and I walk 2 miles. So I'm on my 2-mile walk today, and I'm listening to Jim Rohn. Now, the late, great Jim Rohn, if you haven't watched it, he's just the best, right? So the late, great Jim Rohn is talking, and he said, yeah, so I asked my friend, how much did your television cost? And he said, well, it cost $700. And Jim said, no, that was its price. What did it cost you to spend all that time watching it rather than other things you could be doing? And he said, the guy called him about a week later. He said, my television's costing me about 25 grand a year. Because if instead of watching the television, I would have watched this to learn more of personal development, if I would have spent my time exercising, or if I would have. So he said, I figured my television is now costing me about 25 grand a year. Is that worth the investment? Right? So the price is different than the cost of the investment, right? Because the investment, you expect a return. The price is merely what you pay. Right. You flat out care, Dwayne. Exactly. That's a great addition to that. Creating the desire to invest time in your people. Brian, most people focus on what's in it for me, and that's expensive, or how good am I at that, and how could you afford not to? Yeah, it always gets me. It's there's a program that I signed up for to learn, right? There's something I wanted to learn. And it's a 1-year program, and the cost of the program was $7,500. And the program's been going on for 90 days. And I think I've got my money's worth in the first quarter. Now, do I have the $7,500 in cash? No, but I have learned something that I'm going to utilize in my business that I know is going to get that return. So did the program cost me $7,500? I don't look at it that way. I invested that with the expectation of a return. The cost is not the $7,500. The cost is how much money I would have left on the table for my business now and in the future had I not done that. Does that make sense? That's the cost. $7,500 is the price, right? But that's not the investment. The other thing is the investment's more than $7,500. The investment was the $7,500 and my time. I mean, there's a session this afternoon with that course, and I'm going to be sitting here online, so I'm investing my time. I'm investing, but I expect the return. And too often we look at the price thinking that is the cost or that is the investment, and we don't think enough about the potential return. Hey, Kirby and I were on a call earlier today, a coaching call. Good to see you. I had a great time talking to you. That's great. Yeah, and the cost of how much of your life are you giving up to obtain what's being learned? And Brian, I'd piggyback on your great idea there, saying the cost is also the pain if you don't do it. What's the pain if you don't? That's part of where I kind of let the cat out of the bag a couple days ago. So coming up in October, we're going to do a summit on creating distinction, on what does it do to set you, how do you set yourself apart? And we're going to call it Stand Out, Earn More, the Distinction Summit. Not giving away all the details yet, but it's coming in October. Because when you stand out, you do earn more money, but you also earn more respect, and you earn the right customers, and you earn better employees. And there's all these things that you earn. But yes, we've learned how to do what we do, but we haven't learned how to make what we do stand out. So that's the purpose of the program. Well, so as we're going through the development of that, part of what we're learning is, folks think they don't need to stand out, but yet how much are they giving up because they haven't learned that, right? And so the investment is something that they should expect that they're going to get a great return from. Because if they don't, there's no reason to do it, right? And what's the cost of training is no longer offered. Yeah, absolutely. So, hey, Charles, good to see you. Better late than never. Absolutely. Oh, you're in a car at a shopping center in San Jose. Holy cow. I hope you're having a good day. It's great. Man, it's always great to see you, my friend. Thank you so much. Brian, I appreciate it. We're going to make you registrant number 1 for that. That's great. First in wins. That'd be awesome. So, I wanted to look at how do you invest in yourself? I found this quote from Abraham Maslow. We've all seen his hierarchy of needs, the pyramid of needs. But I love this quote. Maslow said, one can choose, notice operative word, choose. One can choose to go back towards safety or forward toward growth. And one of the greatest psychologists the world has ever known says, growth must be chosen again and again. Fear must be overcome again and again. When people fail to invest in themselves, my experience has been that a great portion of that is the fears that we talked about a couple of days ago. Fear of failure. What if I try it and I don't make it? Even fear of success. What if it changes the way that my friends look at me? But this fear must be overcome again and again and again. And growth, and Maslow is so smart here because he says it must be chosen again and again and again. It's a choice. So what do we need to do to invest in ourselves? What are the steps that we could take to help us invest in ourselves? And here are 6 that I came up with. Number 1, and a lot of these we've talked about before, but these are ways. Remember, we're talking about not necessarily an investment of money. Some of them may require some form of financial investment, but it's also your time and your effort and your talent. So taking the time to invest into setting goals is a great way to invest in yourself. Where are you going? It's said by a million motivational speakers, but the old line from Alice in Wonderland, right? You've heard it. Alice is walking along, looks up in the tree, and there's the Cheshire Cat sitting in the tree. And it's a fork in the road. So Alice looks at the fork in the road, looks up the tree, sees the cat, says, which way should I go? The Cheshire Cat says, well, where are you going? And Alice said, I don't know. And the cat said, then it doesn't matter which road you take. I mean, if you don't know where you're going, it doesn't matter what road you take to get there, right? It's the old joke of, hey, we're lost, but we're making great time. It's like, I don't know where I'm going, but I'm heading there. Well, if we don't know where we're going, it doesn't matter what road we take. So what are the goals that we have first way you invest in yourself is to set goals. As you might imagine, another way that you invest in yourself is to take a course or attend a program. Now, obviously, I'd love the Ultimate Business Summit next week and the Distinction Summit in October to be the way that you do that. But whatever it is, I hope that you find a way to take a course or to attend a program. And it's important. It's part of how we grow. I mentioned on the Ken and Glenn show this last Sunday that the person who says they're a self-made man usually wishes that they had hired some subcontractors, right? I mean, no one achieves just on their own. And so by taking a course, and it's easier to do now than ever before. There are free courses on LinkedIn. There are free courses available. So just finding a way to do that or to attend a program virtually as we have to do now, why not? I mean, it's right there. Question I asked Scott, how do we value the life we have if we're not honing our skills and training every month? I love that. Yeah, I love that. Brian, yes, it's we're hitting that in October. So we are doing that in October. So Darcy, yes, right. Yeah. What a great point, Darcy. I mean, it's not only an investment in getting more speaking engagements, but it is also being an example, right? I mean, being an example. How do we expect our kids or our partner or spouse or our employees to think about improving themselves if they don't see us doing it? And how do we expect them to understand that you have to take risks to get rewards if they don't see us doing it? How do we expect them in a situation as a parent, right? I mean, how do I expect my kids to want to go to college if they don't see me continuing to learn? Why wouldn't they just stop when the law says they can? Right? I mean, it's being that example. Jim Rohn said, income seldom exceeds personal development. Boy, have I seen that in my life. I think that is so true. That our income seldom exceeds our personal development. Here's another one. Keep a journal. Keep a journal. I have periodically done this. I have not been as disciplined about this as I should have been. And I've talked a little bit here before about through a mutual connection, by the way, from attending a program, like we talked about in number 2, I got connected with health and fitness superstar JJ Virgin. And JJ has taken kindly enough a real interest in my health. I got on the scale today at 216. Some of you know the reason I got fascinated by this was I got on the scale and I was 239.9 2 months ago. And I'd never weighed 240 pounds and it scared me to death. And I didn't, And so I was in the 216s yesterday. And one of the ways that she has enforced this on me is that I have to keep a journal every day of everything that I eat and how much sleep I get. I weigh daily and report to her. And on the days that I have gotten discouraged, and one day when I fell off the diet, friends around, the whole bit, she's like, okay, go back and look. And just to go back and to examine. And some of my best speech stories have come from keeping a journal. So the journal helps you see your progress, which is important, but it also makes you invest your time and your talent to capture the day. It gets me. I see a lot of folks that have that sign up that says Carpe Diem, which is seize the day. Yeah, they don't do anything to seize the day. It's a nice sign. But what do you do to capture that day? Because there is a lesson in every single day. And so what we have to do is make that happen, to seize that day. And how we do that is through the journal. Brian, yeah. I mean, our behavior becomes the standard by which our people in our personal life and the people in our professional life are going to judge us. So you're exactly right. Be on stage or in a class all times. Yeah, I like that. Imagine that. Yeah, Jerry, that's so true. The master is forever the student. On my call earlier today with Kirby, we were talking about how, practice doesn't make perfect. That's the old line that we always heard, right? Practice makes perfect. Practice does not make perfect. Practice makes permanent, which is why we need a coach, which is why we need that ongoing kind of contact, because unless that coach, perfect practice makes perfect. But if I've got a hitch in my golf swing and I get out and go to the driving range and practice that, all I'm doing is making certain that hitch is going to be harder to get rid of. I am not going to be perfect in my swing. I am going to groove the imperfection so it's harder to get it to go away. And that's what we're doing here. We have to continue to learn. Exceeding expectations is a universal theme for life. Absolutely. Hey, thanks, Scott. 2 more down. Working on it. Wing it. How are you, man? Yes, a journalist self-accountability. I'd never thought of it that way, but it is. It is the discipline of writing down every day, and that's what it's become for me in terms of this. I cannot believe, write down everything you eat, write down everything you drink. Well, what's that? I'm just gonna eat less and work out more. No, you're gonna write down everything you eat, weigh yourself every day. It's so far so good. It's made a huge difference. Here's number 4. Try something new. If you want to invest, how do you think you're going to grow if you keep doing what you've always done? You got to be willing to try something new. Don't know what it is for you, but take a look at what you're doing and say, what's one more thing? Now, maybe trying something new is that you try doing the journal, or that you enroll in a course, or you get coaching, or you said, maybe that's new to you. If that's new, you can incorporate more than one of these, but you got to try something new to grow. If you're not willing to try something new, how do you expect things to get better? It's the old line about the definition of insanity, right? You keep doing the same thing, expecting a different result. Try something new, try something different. It's part of how you invest in yourself. Here's another way to invest in yourself. Identify a bad habit and change it. What's a bad habit that you've got? Could you identify one? Most of us wouldn't have too much trouble identifying just one. What's a bad habit you got? How can you change it? Do that, and that's a sign of a great investment. Ernest Hemingway said there's nothing noble in being superior to your fellow man. True nobility is being superior to your former self. And how do you become superior to your former self? Identify a bad habit that you've got now that you're not going to have in the future. That's a way to invest. Here's the 6th and final one for you today. Read. Larry Wingett's on here. I don't know anybody that has read more books about business growth and personal development than Larry Winget. When he talks about his expertise in that, it's because he's damn sure done it. He's done it. He reads more than anybody I know. And as Benjamin Franklin said, the only thing more expensive than education is ignorance. I know so many people that would love to have done what Larry has done. Yes. Yeah. Well, why warm up? If there's a chance I hit a good shot, I don't want to do it on the range. Might as well do it on the course, right? So it's right. Brian, have a beginner's mind. That's what we're talking about. And that's one of the great things about reading too. I started to say, I know so many folks that would love to have Larry's knowledge about business, but they're not willing to read as many books as Larry has read to get it. Imagine that. Franklin said the only thing more expensive than education is ignorance. And boy, isn't that a sign for the times. So I'm going to leave you with this quote from Robin Sharma, who said, investing in yourself is the best investment you will ever make. Isn't that a good line? It'll not only improve your life, it improves the lives of all of those around you. When you invest in yourself and make yourself better, there you go. Look what it does. Darcy even talked about it, one of the investments that she was making, but it was also teaching her daughter about taking risk and about being able to change when times and situations change. See, that's another thing, Darcy, that you're teaching as well, is that, you're saying that taking risk, investing in yourself, become a better speaker, better professional. And the other thing that you're doing is teaching her that sometimes the world changes and it's nothing that you did. It's nothing that you got involved in, but yet you have to make changes because of the changes in the world. And you're teaching her, rather than panic, I'm going to do something about it, which is a great, great lesson as well. So the 6 things again are the set goals, take a course, attend a program, keep a journal, try something new, identify a bad habit and change it, and read more about the world around you. When you invest in yourself, as Benjamin Franklin said, an investment in yourself always pays the highest dividends, right? That's it. Hey, Weldon, thank you. Yes, you are. And I always feel when I talk about this, I'm preaching to the choir, right? Because if you didn't believe in this, you wouldn't be here watching in the first place, right? The people that don't believe in this are doing something else. Did you see? I thought this was so incredible. I'll go a minute over here and leave you with this. You know what The Rock looks at every morning? Dwayne Johnson. You know what he looks at every morning? He's got a card, and it says, "Today I will do what others won't, so tomorrow I can have what others can't." Today I'll do what others won't, so tomorrow I can have what others can't. And what are you willing to do today that other people won't, so that you end up with what they can't because they haven't paid the price? Do something now to invest in yourself. Hey, I look forward to talking to you tomorrow on the next Daily Distinction. Thank you so much for being here. Please share this if you would. That way we'll get more replay viewers if you found this of value. And don't forget to join us at the Ultimate Business Summit, ultimatebusinesssummit.com. Thanks much. Talk to you tomorrow.